foreign world to me that I knew nothing about. When she left that day, I thought, she walked out to the parking lot, and a few minutes later she came back in and she said to me, Gail, she said, I don't know why, but when I got in my car, she said, I started thinking about this lady in Cincinnati, and I don't know why, but I just think you guys need to meet someday. I said, oh, okay, well, you know, who is she? I don't really know that much about her. I just met her myself. Here's her name and number. And she left. She actually lives in California now, I believe. And so when she left, I took that little piece of paper and I stuck it in my pocket. And like I'm sure many of you women do, later everything that's in our pocket usually gets transferred to our purse. And if you're like me, it's there for at least a year or so, until my kids go through it or somebody goes through it needing money or something fun. Well, anyway, I had that piece of paper with this lady's name for almost a year in my purse. And remember the little voice that I talked about? It kept saying to call that woman. There was something about calling that woman. Did you guys ever have that little voice? Just kind of keeps gnawing at you, but you don't really know why. And we kind of dismiss it thinking, oh gosh, that's just silly. That's just silly. What am I thinking? Who am I to think something? But this particular day, the little voice said, pick up the phone and call that woman. And I thought to myself, now that's interesting. I don't know who she is. But yet I was really intrigued that Debbie would feel so strongly that she needed to come all the way back in and give me this woman's phone number. And so I picked up the phone and I made a little dial, and not knowing what I was going to say because I didn't even know I was calling the woman. But do you know, when I said, this is Gail, and Debbie gave me your number and said I should call you, and I'm kind of rambling on as we do when we don't know somebody, and she said to me, honey, I've been waiting for your call. I thought, ooh, waiting for my call? You don't even know me. How could you wait for my call? But you know, that so struck me. She was waiting for my call, and it was just really odd, but yet it was really interesting. Oh, there it goes again. And so in our conversation, I was so intrigued by her that we decided that we had to meet, and it had to be pretty soon. And so she told me, I need you to meet me on William Howard Boulevard. Do you guys know where William Howard Taft? You know where that is in Cincinnati? Now, again, this was a long time ago. And so for me, living in Kentucky, going to William Howard Taft was like crossing over to Alaska or somewhere, you know. You just didn't do that. But I thought, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to Cincinnati, and all my friends are, where are you going today? I'm going to Cincinnati. You're going to Cincinnati? I mean, you would have thought I was going across the world. But anyway, so as I pull up on William Howard Taft to this building, it was a concrete building, and I'm thinking, what the heck is this? And there's a sign in the window, and the sign says, the Lemonade Stand. A place to come and be refreshed. Wigs, breast prosthesis, and makeup. Now, I don't know about you all, but that's not exactly what I thought of a lemonade stand. I was quite confused, and I was a little taken aback, but I'm still a little excited. I get to, I'm kind of adventurous, and I'm wanting to meet this woman, but I truly had no clue what she was doing with that mixture of products. And when I went into the store, it was a beautiful little Victorian room, kind of a salmon color, and there was two women over on the side, and one was sitting in a chair, and the other one was doing what I thought was the woman's hair. And she says to me, honey, have a seat, I'll be with you in a minute. And I sat down, looking around, thinking, wow, this is really cool, it's really beautiful here. It was all the kind of stuff, the girly stuff that I like, but remember I told you I was a single parent. I had boys, and any girly stuff wasn't going to make it in my household unless it was a football or a fishing pole. So I sat there and just really, really enjoyed the scenery here. And just there was such peacefulness, and it was just really a great place. Well, the woman in the chair stands up, and they give each other a hug, and I'm thinking, gosh, this is so cool, what a neat little place. And the other woman picks up a cane, and she's very beautifully dressed. Now, this was 20 some odd years ago, and she's walking very gingerly. She had this little denim skirt. You guys remember when the denim and the big sequins were popular? Okay, she was having that going on. It was the sequins, and she had the big red fingernails and this beautiful blouse with all the big sequins all over. It's gorgeous. But I remember looking at her thinking, gosh, I wonder what's wrong with that woman. She's so young. Why is she walking with a cane? Well, as she comes over and sits down next to me, she says, honey, I'm Rita. This was the lady from the phone. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. But then she proceeds to tell me, and I'm dying and I know it. But the good Lord said if I hung on long enough, He was going to send somebody to carry on this business. And as soon as you walked in the door, I knew it was you. I was looking for the exit door. I thought, oh my goodness, I was totally overwhelmed. Thinking, what is this woman talking about? She's really beautiful, and she looks like she's got it together, but I think she's a little crazy. Not sure what's happening here. And I said, ma'am, I'm sorry, but I think you have the wrong person. And she said, no, I don't have the wrong person. And I said, but wait a minute, I'm a single parent. I run an OB-GYN office. I know nothing about what you're doing here. I certainly don't know anything about prosthesis and all that. You've got the wrong person. She said, honey, will you please stop with the I can't and I don't have, and I'm blah, blah, blah. She said, just take a breath a minute. And she said to me, you don't have to worry. Because as long as you come to the people, or as long as you take care of the people that come to you, the good Lord is going to help you with the needs that you have in running the business. And I just looked at her and I was like, man, is he sure he knows who I am? Because I have no money. I've never run a business. I have no idea what cancer is. I don't know what these things. I did have an education in prosthesis and makeup because I had gone to cosmetology school. Check off those 2 blocks. That was the only thing I had going for me. But you know what? At that moment, that little voice in me that I've heard for years kind of came screaming out, it's okay. Don't be afraid. Do what this woman says. And I'm thinking, this is just absolutely nuts. But yet, the voice kept shouting back, it's okay, just do it. And so we talked a few more minutes, and honest to goodness, it wasn't even that long of a conversation. It was